Well, on to the word today. I'm excited about this word today because it exposes not just a man's heart, but it exposes the heart of man and the other. It exposes our heart. It exposes us to the good side and the bad side. I'm going to read the verses, then I'm going to expound pretty much on what transpired. And in this chapter 12, if you've read it before, there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of meat in this chapter. Jesus is doing a lot of things. His disciples or his followers are going through a field and they pick up a grain of wheat, and you got the Pharisees always there trying to eyeball, see what's going on, see what's happening. And a couple of the men grab a grain of wheat and they chew on it because they're hungry. And they start kind of ostracizing them for eating that grain. And they give different other scenarios in that chapter about Jesus healing different people, a guy with a wretched hand, withered hand, and different parts of the body that he heals, and then all the time there's somebody judging him. There's somebody, Pharisee or otherwise, judging what he's doing, how he's doing it, the day that he's doing it on, if it's right, if it's wrong. But Jesus has an answer for everything that transpires in this chapter. He has an answer for everything that takes place in this chapter. And we're going to skip on all the way over to 33, where Jesus tells us to either make the tree sound and healthy and good, and the fruit sound and healthy and good, or make the tree rotten, diseased, bad, and its fruit rotten, diseased, and bad. For the tree is known and recognized and judged by its fruit. He goes on to say, you offspring of vipers, and we know who he's talking about. How can you speak good things when you are evil, wicked? For out of the fullness that overflow, the superabundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. He goes on to say, a good man from his inner good treasure flings forth good things. And an evil man out of his inner evil storehouse flings forth evil things. But I tell you, on the day of judgment, men will have to give account for every idle, inoperative, non-working word they speak. For by your words you will be justified and acquitted, and by your words you will be condemned and sentenced. It's been estimated that from the first good morning to the last good night, the average person engages in about 30 conversations a day. Some of you average more than some of you other ones, and less in some cases. But statisticians have estimated that each of us will spend 13 years of our life talking, and every day our words could write a book of 50 to 60 pages in a year. If we are just average, we could author 264 books of over 200 pages just with our words. You can do more than if you can speak in excess of 300 words per minute, as in some cases we're able to do, or if you can talk incessantly at any speed. Scripture points out that our tongues reveal the true condition of our hearts. Just as the tree is known by its fruit, even so our hearts are known by our words, what we say. They are evidence that either acquit us or condemn us as believers, and they show us up for what we really are. From the mouth of each individual here at TTOF, and I'll abbreviate that without saying Trinity Tabernacle Faith, is a message from the abundance of their heart. When Pastor Cecil ministers, it's a message from the abundance of his heart. when Pastor Sandy ministers, it's a message from the abundance of her heart. From Minister Buddy ministering to Brother Hill, to Minister Ann. These are things they're ministering about that is an abundance from their heart. And because of that abundance that they've held on to for a week, 2 weeks, or in my case, 3 weeks, the 4th week it comes up, that abundance has come up, and now the mouth speaks. So I've prepared myself to be ready to give this word, because out of the abundance of my heart, the mouth speaks. And in each and every one of us, we should consider the abundance of our heart and what we're saying, not just to our neighbor, not just to our co-worker, to our children, to our spouse, to our mate, to our friend. We need to think about what is in our heart and how we're speaking, how we're giving it to another person. So what would stop someone from being here? We talk about choices. We actually talk about choices quite a few times. And everything is based upon a choice. But it's also based upon what's in your heart. And from your heart, you make the choice. There's a lot of Bible verses that go into the discussions of the heart, and I can go through them. I only gave Brother Thomas one scripture verse, which goes through what I just read in Matthew 12, 33 to 37. But in Matthew 6 and 21, it tells us, for where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. So if you pride yourself, or you actually have gathered up all the information in your heart that you're crazy about one particular item, or jewelry, or shoes, or anything, if that's your treasure, that's where your heart is also. Now, don't get me wrong, and I don't want you to get it twisted, but I like cars and motorcycles. My heart is somewhat in that direction. But I don't get it too far to the left or right, because I know basically my heart is to serve Jesus Christ. I know that. I can't get away from that foundation. We are given things in this world to enjoy. If we weren't, or if we didn't have these things, then they wouldn't be at our disposal. But in giving these things and having these things, you have to be responsible for taking care of doing things in the right way. It has to be in order.
Right. That's right.
And if your heart is going to be there, if your heart is going to be in that treasure, then you have to understand that that treasure does not come before the main treasure, which is our Heavenly Father. He is the main treasure. We were given that opportunity through Jesus Christ, because He is our treasure. That's what our heart is supposed to be in that direction. Proverbs tells us to trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding.
Yes.
When you trust in the Lord with all your heart, then that understanding is knowing God is going to direct your path. He's going to keep you where you need to be. He's going to keep your ordinances straight, so you'll follow and do the things that He would have you to do.
Yes.
Old Spike Lee say, do the right thing. That's what trusting in the Lord does. You do the right thing. Proverbs tells that all else, and this is really important, I want everybody to really get this. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it.
Amen.
When you guard your heart, you have to understand now, God gave us the eye gate, the ear gate, and when you see something, you have to guard your heart. When you hear something, you've got to guard your heart. Because in that same perspective, if you don't guard your heart, guess what? At a later date, that's coming back out. I always think about people that are right on the brink of an accident, or right on the brink of something serious happening, or possibly right on the brink of a fatality. What comes out of your heart? Jesus! At that time, at that moment. Even a sinner, even someone that doesn't know Him, if he calls upon that name, It's something about that name, and you know, when we think about it, we have to understand that when we call upon him, he's a loving and just God answer. He loves us so much. Who would stray away from this? No. So you have to guard your heart. Guard your heart so the things that do or are poured into it, you can decipher if you receive it or release it. You don't have to receive it.
That's right. Hallelujah.
That's the one thing about what we do when we guard our heart, is that we're given a choice what goes in it.
That's right.
Because I tell you, and I've experienced this, I have had opportunities and I've had things that came out of it that I didn't expect to come out of it. In circumstances where, as the Bible tells us, we can be angry but sin not. Got angry and hey, I tell you, we'll come out and oh wait a minute. So I mean, I'm just keeping it real. If it's down in there somewhere, it's gonna come up out of there. It's coming out. You can walk around and say and believe or make yourself believe the holier than thou thing. It's still things back in there that we deal with in the flesh. We're still in this flesh. We don't have that glorified body yet. So it's down in there. It may have been put down in there 100 years ago in the club. I don't know. It may have been put down there in different areas that you had to deal with. I had some issues back down in there. I didn't even know it was in there from Vietnam. I had to attempt to suppress. But we serve a greater God. Take care of all of it. He said the greater one lives within us. So, you know, the world can be out here, but we're not in that world.
That's right.
The psalmist tells us in 51:10 that create in me a pure heart, O God, and renew a steadfast spirit within me. Now, the thing is, too, when he says create in me a pure heart, that's all part of the whole picture of that abundance. When that pure heart is created in you, all those things that we don't or we're concerned about coming out, they ain't coming out. Because what's in there is Jesus. So what's got to come out of there is Jesus. It says renew a steadfast spirit. What would steadfast be? What would steadfast be? Would it be consistency? Would it be doing something on a continual pattern, the same thing over and over again? That's what steadfast. Steadfast would be if I walk up to my sister Sandy and I have an issue, I have something going on, she's going to give me advice from a steadfast spirit. It's going to be something that's going to uplift me, going to build me up, going to make me, when I walk away from the circumstance that I'm in, I'm going to walk away better than where I got to. That's a steadfast spirit. Philippians 4:7 tells us that, and the peace of God which transcends all understanding will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Enough said. I don't even have to elaborate on that. Because the last part that says, and your minds in Christ Jesus. Now we know we got to renew this head every time. It's got to be renewed constantly. It's renewed because what comes here is more important than what you filter in here. The psalmist also says that 34 and 37:4, take delight in the Lord. I love this. I absolutely love this. Take delight in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. In Psalm 9:1, it tells, I give thanks to you, Lord, with all my heart, and I will tell of all your wonderful deeds. Every individual in here can tell someone about the wonderful deeds that the Lord has done in your life. And last but not least, 5 and 8, Matthew 5 and 8 says, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Tell you what, everybody has the ultimate desire for the saying of how well you've done and how the Lord will say how he blessed you and tells you about you being a good and faithful servant. Come on in here. Come on in and you did your job. You want to hear it. We all want to do. That's affirmation. And that's the affirmation from the highest of the highest. When you're affirmed by him, you are truly